Here we have a 2021 Ford Transit Custom. It's fitted with a 2-litre diesel engine and got roughly 59,000 miles on the clock. Today we're going to be doing a brake fluid change on this Transit. The reservoir's over here. As you can see, I've put some blue roll down already, catch any drips. Brake fluid makes a brilliant paint stripper, so if you do spit any, make sure you've got some fresh water, maybe a rag or some blue roll, just to clean up after yourself. Right, so we'll get the cap off. As you can see, it does say on there, .4. You do get different grades of brake fluid, but that's the most common one, .4. Just me personally, really, I prefer to get as much fluid out of this reservoir as possible before starting on bleeding it through. It just seems a little bit pointless pushing all this old fluid through the system when you can get quite a bit out of the bottle. If you've got a baster or anything like that, something to siphon it out with. Yeah, I think we'll skip that. Doesn't seem to work too well on this bottle. Oh well, it's emptied that end compartment of it anyway. It's got some out. Some of them you can put that in and draw out, you know, quite a bit of fluid. Always worth a go. Right, so actually I've got something else that might work better. Little vacuum pump. Used to use this for bleeding brakes. I think that's all we're going to get out of that one. Right, I'm going to top this back up now with some new brake fluid. Make sure you have got brake fluid, new stuff in a sealed container. It does absorb moisture over the years, so it's always worth starting fresh. A number of different ways of bleeding brakes. Obviously you could have somebody sit inside the vehicle and pump the pedal. You could use a vacuum device like the one I used to empty the reservoir, or you could just crack the bleed nipple and let it drip through by itself. It takes quite a while. I wasn't really a fan of pumping the brake pedal, particularly on older vehicles, because it can force the master cylinder to extremes that it doesn't usually go to, and sometimes it tears the seals in the master cylinders, which can create a spongy brake pedal. But recently I bought one of these pressure bleeders, which has been brilliant. I mean, this container was already open, but I'm using this tool fairly regularly, so it's probably only a couple of weeks old, the brake fluid. A 5 litre tub like this you should be able to pick up for about £35. I guess you'd probably only need about a litre to do a fluid change, really. Right, so let's get this put in place. We've got the pressure bleeder there. That's it. Right, and we just need to pump this up, no more than 28 psi. Must be nearly there. Right, we'll leave it at that. I quite like this because clearly that pressurises the system, and we've got plenty of brake fluid in there to keep us going, so we don't have to keep checking the level and topping up. We can just take it up in the air and crack on with bleeding it through. Right, starting at the back of the van, this is the near side rear. That's the bleed nipple right on the top of the caliper there. It's 11mm. They always say it's a good idea to start with the furthest away from the master cylinder. So that's where we're going to start. I don't think it's absolutely critical when you've got a full system like this, but it's definitely critical if you're changing a component like a master cylinder, starting from an empty system. So I've got a bleed bottle here. You can buy bleed bottles. This one I've just made out of an old empty 1 litre brake fluid container, so you can keep an eye on how much is going in. Make a hole in the top, put a bit of hose in, but make sure it's not an airtight hole because you need the air to come back out of the bottle as the fluid's going in. Right, so I've put the spanner on the pipe already. That's it. Well, it was a bit slow to get going, but it has started going okay now. As you can see, we've got quite a bit of fluid in there. So I'm going to lock this one off here. It's actually leaking out the top as well, dripping all down the wheel. So we'll get a bit of water and rinse that off in a moment. I'm going to do exactly the same on the driver's side rear next. Won't bother filming that. But then we'll pick up again on the front end. So I'm just going to get a little pot of water to tip over that. That will dilute that down and wash it off. If I can find something. That'll do. Just a lid off of an aerosol can. Bit of a wet workshop floor now, but let's clean that one off. Right, both rear brakes are bled through. So I'm just going to pull this dust cap off of here. I'll move that little wire and loom out of the way. Again, that's 11mm. Yeah, that's okay. You can hear it bubbling away. So we'll leave that for a few minutes just to bleed through. As you can see, that one's bled through quite a bit already. So I'm going to lock that off there. Which just leaves me with the driver's side front to do, which we won't record again because it's exactly the same as this side. Put that wire back in there, dust cap back on. So we've still got a little bit of pressure left in there. We'll let that off now. Right, let's get this cap off. Just make sure you haven't spilt any, like I was saying. If you have, just a bit of fresh water to clean up. Level looks good. So we'll pop the cap back on, wherever I put it. Oh, there it is. I'm just going to make sure I've got a good brake pedal. Yep, I'll start it up. That pedal's rock hard. Yeah, lovely. Just pumping the pedal. Yeah. So with the engine off, pumped the pedal, depleted all the air out of the servo assist and just hold your foot on the brake pedal, and that should stay at the same level, rock hard, lovely. All that's left to do, as I do with most of my jobs, I'll just give it a road test, and I'll walk around and have a quick look underneath, make sure there's no leaks.